uh, emotionally attached to this cause of child protection. So I think what she's achieved over last a few years is something that people achieve in many, many years if they're not committed and emotionally connected to the cause like child protection and welfare. And of course, our Chief Minister, Maryam Nawaz Sharif, Scott, just pardon me for speaking in Urdu for a while and then I'll come back to English. सबसे पहले तो मैं वज़ीर आला पंजाब मरियम नवाज़ शरीफ साहिबा का शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहती हूँ कि जब मैं सारा ने मुझे चाइल्ड प्रोटेक्शन की जो पॉलिसी है 2025 उसका ड्राफ्ट दिया और उसकी प्रेजेंटेशन दी एंड आई टुक द ड्राफ्ट टू द चीफ मिनिस्टर and she was so delighted कि इतना comprehensive work with all the stakeholders and society engagement, feedback और input के साथ बना हुआ है and it was our policy, the first policy ever from any province on child protection and welfare. So that was, I think the next cabinet meeting, it was approved and it was then launched by the Bureau itself. So I thank partners like UNICEF also and Scott, yourself as well for helping us and bringing in the global experience for this cause in Pakistan. So thank you all the partners, all the Board of Governors and of course Sara, people like Nadia and heroes like Rizwana, जिसकी जो ज़ील है, हमारी जो स्पिरिट है और जो पूरा एक ethos है, उसके ऊपर काम करते हैं. So today is of course World's Children Day and usme I'm not here to speak about children's right and to talk about child protection or because ye to aap daily basis pe we talk about these things and the heroes of today's events are these children and who of course are under the patronage and protection of Child Welfare Bureau, Protection Bureau. Lekin I'm here to talk about the conscience of the society. Because whenever the child is protected, rescued or protected from violence, it talks about and it shows the health of the mental health and the conscience of a society that they live in and we all live in. तो जितनी ज़्यादा आपकी society healthy होगी, जितनी conscious होगी, जितनी sensitive होगी, वही translate करेगा उस society का narrative towards women and children. And that's what we reflect. अगर Child Protection Bureau and Welfare काम करे तो वो government की responsibility है. But as a nation, as a society, we have to protect our children. If the children are begging, so somebody is giving them money. If the child labor is done, so somebody is hiring them. Like I speak on environment and smog related issues, that it has to come from within. It has to be indigenous. It has to be organic from within the society that how we take care of our children, our environment, and also our women, the vulnerable groups of our society. So we all, of course, represent all parts of our society here today. हमारे पास parliamentarians भी यहाँ बैठे हैं, हमारे पास civil bureaucracy भी यहाँ बैठी है, हमारे पास stakeholders यहाँ मौजूद हैं, हमारे पास बच्चे यहाँ मौजूद हैं. तो I think the continuous voice of these voiceless people should be heard and the vulnerable groups rescue हम करते हैं, Child Protection Bureau भी करता है और इसके साथ साथ हम rescue के साथ rehabilitation करें, इनकी education का जो Bureau कर रहा है. So the children are not just rescued. They are rehabilitated and then they are educated. अगर आपने उसको protect किया है तो they are empowered also because there are many good stories and case studies that I'm learning every day which Sara keeps telling me कि जब आप किसी यहाँ बच्चे को protect करते हैं तो आप फिर उसका पूरा एक employment plan. Many girls I saw here today who are working for Tony and Guy, who are working for restaurants, who are working for different employers. So that's great news because once the child is brought to the Bureau, they should not be kept in Bureau for the rest of their life. They should be mainstream, they should be educated, they should be protected, then they should be empowered also. And that's the ethos of the Chief Minister of Punjab, Maryam Nawaz Sharif also. She's not leaving anyone behind. She is inclusive, she is... And the question is asked to her every day that what is your priority? And she says that everything is my priority. We're just coming from a meeting, my colleagues here, Suhaib Bharat and Bilal, Transport Minister, and Communication and Works Minister is here. We're just coming from an annual review which was chaired by the Chief Minister. So today was Mother and Child, today was Special Education, and today was the theme where we reviewed the entire health programs of the Chief Minister. Every project is her priority. And the projects and the departments that were unseen by the Chief Ministers is her priority list. Health and education. Education only stands at 145 billion rupees in Punjab, the highest ever budget allocated to education department, including all-inclusive education, be it special education, be it primary, higher, secondary education, informal and formal education, both. तो ये जो विजन है चीफ मिनिस्टर का, इसमें अभी जो स्पेशल एजुकेशन की मेन स्ट्रीमिंग है, द फर्स्ट ऑटिज्म स्कूल will be inaugurated in December of Pakistan, and we are spreading it in all districts of Punjab, the autism schools. And autism school does not only have autistic kids, but it also has other special needs education that is inculcated and included in that narrative. और इसी तरह meal programs हैं. Stunting of course is a major issue. Malnutrition is a major issue as well. So in South Punjab she has started it's about 50 billion program where we give a milk pack to every child, and because of that 40% of enrollment has increased in schools in South Punjab. So that's something that she's looking. Mother and child health care program she's focusing on. The basic health units, the field hospitals where the mother and children are the major target audience of those interventions by the Chief Minister. तो ये जो सारा health care का और education का और एक society का child protection and women protection is her red line. And that's what she said in her first speech also in the parliament after becoming the Chief Minister. And she has implemented that. Like Nadia was saying that we should walk our talk. So Maryam Nawaz Sharif is, I think, a symbol of walking the talk that she delivers and that she delivers. So it's a very good news that the government is conscious of all the vulnerable groups, and they're making policies, they're approving policies, they're funding them. They're all cashed back programs that we have introduced in Punjab over the last 1.5 years under the leadership of Chief Minister Punjab. And yes, we all should clap like the little girl clapping there. So, ये बच्चे हमारे बच्चे हैं, ये बच्चे पाकिस्तान के बच्चे हैं, ये बच्चे पंजाब के बच्चे हैं, और जिस तरह इनकी प्रोटेक्शन चाइल्ड प्रोटेक्शन वेलफेयर ब्यूरो में की जा रही है, आई थिंक वी ऑल नीड टू appreciate that and all need to acknowledge that the way the bureau is working, the way Sara's team is working, the way Home Secretary also is helping them because of legislative and administrative part as well. लेकिन जितना ज़्यादा हम as a society, as a nation, as a country sensitive होंगे, तो ये खाली गवर्नमेंट जो है वो आपको facilitate कर सकती है, वो आपको fund कर सकती है, वो आपको policy दे सकती है, वो आपको legislation दे सकती है, लेकिन the conscience of a society has to come from within. And that's what the Bureau reflects also. And as we all are here today, I think today आज मैं theme पढ़ी थी, which is my day, my right. I think every day is these children's day, and every right as fundamental right, not as favor, should be given to these children. And that's how we do also. So inshallah, the government is there. The government and the Chief Minister is supportive of all these activities, and as I said, every policy of hers is inclusivity and leaving no one behind. So parliamentarians also are helping the Chief Minister, the ministers are also helping the Chief Minister, the civil society is helping the Chief Minister. So the entire Punjab team, we call that it is Punjab's Chief Minister's team, and she herself calls the team as a team effort. So aap sabka isi tarah saath raha, and once again I would like to thank you, Scott, for all your help. I've been interacting with UNICEF for many years now into different capacities, and the work UNICEF is doing in Pakistan is commendable also as partners, and we look forward to working with you as well. And I know different sectors that you're working in education also, water and sanitation, WASH as well, and then of course child protection and welfare as well. So thank you once again. Tamam Board of Governors of Child Bureau and Welfare Bureau, Child Protection and Welfare Bureau as well. Thank you very much. Nadia, people like yourself, we need more. Bring in more people, more ambassadors, so that reflects the health of the society as well. यहाँ बड़ी मुश्किल होती है कि किसी एक्टर से तारीफ़ कराएं, क्योंकि उसके बाद जो उसके इंस्टा पेज के साथ होता है वो एक नेक्स्ट लेवल स्टोरी होती है. लेकिन हमें, आई थिंक वी शुड ब्रेक दोज शैकल्स ऑल्सो एंड इंटिमिडेशन एज वेल. वी शुड नॉट केयर अबाउट इट एंड वी शुड वर्क वेयर आवर हार्ट इज़, and we should appreciate good work, because when you appreciate, when you acknowledge good work, then the result is these children being protected and the vulnerable groups being protected. So we all should appreciate good work. We all should talk about good work, and that's how the societies grow, and that's how the society's health is reflected as well. So आप सबका बहुत शुक्रिया एक दफ़ा फिर. My fellow parliamentarians also, thank you very much for being part of this important day today. And I will keep connected. I'll come to the Bureau inshallah soon. And all your demands, Charter of... And the Charter of Demands, consider them approved by the Chief Minister, because I know when I'll take them to her, she will approve all the demands by the children as well. So thank you once again. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, I'm just rushed because there's another meeting of the Chief Minister.
आलमी यौम अतफ़ाल मेरा दिन मेरा हक़ के मौजू पर तकरीब और सीनियर सूबाई वज़ीर मरीम औरंगज़ेब का तकरीब से ख़िताब जारी था. उन्होंने कहा, ख़वातीन और बच्चों का तहफ़्फ़ुज़ पंजाब हुकूमत की अव्वलीन तरजीह है. चाइल्ड प्रोटेक्शन ब्यूरो बच्चों की मयारी तालीम भी दे रहा है.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम. Mr. Hikmat Hajiev, Assistant to the President and Head of the International Affairs Department, the Honorable Secretary General of the D8, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you. It is a great honor for me to address the distinguished gathering of the D8 Media Forum here in the vibrant and historic city of Baku. I extend my deep appreciation to the government of Azerbaijan, to the dynamic leadership of His Excellency President Ilham Heydar Aliyev, which has enabled us to be here today at this great event of regional cooperation and collaboration. As I was mentioning to him earlier, that ever since Azerbaijan has become a member of the D8, it has come in with full energy, and we can feel that energy on this very sunny and shiny morning in Baku. Ladies and gentlemen, Excellencies, this was the need of the hour, because as they say, perception is always stronger than reality. And how to build a positive perception of the developing 8 countries. We have good stories to tell. We have good initiatives to highlight the world over. But it is our primary responsibility to tell our stories in the right manner. And I think this is the right time to take this up with cooperation, with cohesion, with synergy, so that we can benefit from each other's experiences and tell our story in the right manner to the right audience. Ladies and gentlemen, the global information landscape is undergoing unprecedented transformation. Crises, whether political, economic, environmental, or humanitarian, are amplified by the speed, scale, and influence of modern technology, and especially modern communication technologies. We saw this transformation from the print media going into the electronic media. So this was an evolution which had a process, and it came into being through a structural process. But the second evolution, from the electronic media to the digital media, was an evolution that took place on its own environment, on its own pace. So I often say that the world is now divided into 2 kinds of people. We have digital immigrants and we have digital natives. And this division is a very beautiful division because the digital media has now grown into the fastest modes of communication. So we need to bring together on this forum the digital natives along with the digital immigrants. And how to go about it, because this is the ideal forum where we can not only cooperate, but we can come up with a code of conduct, a code of ethics, where we can even educate our young population, the Gen Z, on the proactive and positive uses of social media. In Pakistan, we have a very diverse, very vibrant media landscape. We have 117 million internet users. We have 79.9 million social media users. Our population, 68% of our population is based on youth under the age of 30. And our media landscape is now changing for the good. And we saw during the recent conflict with India that there was an information war going on simultaneously. So in that information war, our Gen Z played a very vital role in getting out the right information at the right time. It was a great collaboration, cohesion between the media houses, between the Gen Z, between the digital media platform, and it resulted in a great information output for our country. We have also observed how disinformation can distort public perception, fuel polarization, and weaken institutional trust. The government of Pakistan has prioritized transparent communication, digital responsibility, and enhanced coordination among media institutions. Our approach to strategic communication and crisis management is built on the following pillars: proactive information dissemination, ensuring timely, accurate, and coherent messaging by government institutions, strengthening national media platforms, empowering public broadcasters and digital outlets with modern tools and training. Number 3, capacity building for media professionals to equip journalists with the skills needed to cover crisis ethically and responsibly. Collaborative fact-checking mechanisms to counter misinformation and engage citizens with proactive information. And media literacy for citizens, enabling people to identify misinformation very, very effectively. These efforts reflect Pakistan's commitment to building a resilient and trustworthy information environment, one that supports democratic values, social harmony, and national stability. The D8 Forum offers a powerful platform for collective action. Our member states can benefit immensely from shared knowledge, coordinated strategies, and joint initiatives. I would like to propose the following areas of collaboration for your kind consideration. It's a very welcome move, and we really appreciate the Media Excellence Center being established by the Azerbaijani government. We will be fully cooperative in this initiative, and we propose a joint working group of media ministries and media professionals, which should meet on a regular basis, even if virtually through video conference. That will enable us to share our experiences on a more frequent and regular basis. Secondly, joint trainings and workshops on crisis reporting, digital forensics, and counter disinformation practices. We need a common fact-checking mechanism. I would also like to propose for your kind consideration that if we can today have a Baku Declaration of media collaboration, which can set out the roadmap for the future and on which we can all agree upon, and can be a starting point collaboration between the D8 countries. The proposed Baku Declaration can set a way forward for media professionals and media ministries of D8 countries. I would also like to propose the creation of social media handles of the D8 Media Forum. through which member countries can put forward the narratives of economic development, of uplifting the people of our countries, providing a platform to counter Islamophobia, counter terrorism, and to put out a narrative of common development of the D8 countries. We have a lot of good stories to tell. In Pakistan, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has taken up the initiative of reforming our Federal Board of Revenue, which is the main tax collecting agency. And it is a case study for the world to see and follow, which has not only increased our revenue, but which has instilled public confidence in public institutions. So I think we have a lot of good stories to tell in the form of reforms, in the form of institutional mechanisms being brought in line with modern technologies. So I think this will be a way forward in which a joint social media platform can be effectively used by D8 countries to project their success stories and to put out a common narrative for the benefit and for the common good of the people of the D8 countries. Besides this, I would also like to propose partnerships for combating online extremism and hate speech, which threaten societal cohesion across the region. We can also go for a collaborative public diplomacy campaign to highlight the D8's shared narratives of peace, economic development, and cultural diversity. And Secretary General, I would also like to pay my compliments to you for a very successful tenure and for your public service to the D8 countries and for also successfully hosting the D8 summit last year in December in Cairo. And I also like to wish you all the best for your future endeavors. You've had a very, very successful tenure. And as Pakistan takes on the Secretary Generalship in January 2026, we have a lot to learn from your tenure and from your experiences. Ladies and gentlemen, with the increased use of technology, with the advent of artificial intelligence, I think a certain code of ethics also needs to be agreed upon. We have certain platforms where AI videos are used, but there's a mark or a sign indicating that certain videos are created by artificial intelligence. So we need to have that kind of marking or signs which can enable the users of the internet to differentiate between artificial intelligence and between the really created videos. So I think this is something which can be agreed upon, and this will empower us to counter misinformation and disinformation. We have on the online platforms, on different social media outlets, fact-checking mechanisms, and we very often resort to those fact-checking mechanisms to give out the correct information and to call out fake news, because one of the recent challenges that we are faced with is misinformation and disinformation. And I can also quote from the World Economic Forum that when world leaders were asked, what is the biggest challenge of our time? They did not say nuclear warfare. They did not say climate change. They said misinformation, because that can lead to chaos and destruction. Ladies and gentlemen, I think through more cooperation and through initiatives like this Media D8 Forum, we can strengthen our cooperation and we can unify our voices and enhance the resilience of the media ecosystems. Strategic communication is not only about how governments communicate, it is also about how societies listen, respond, and unite in times of crisis. The media plays a central role in connecting people, shaping discourse, and guiding public sentiment. It is therefore essential that both state and private media institutions work hand in hand to promote responsible journalism, ethical reporting, and accurate storytelling. Pakistan stands ready to collaborate with all D8 partners to expand our shared capacity, build stronger communication networks, and establish frameworks that support peace, credibility, and crisis preparedness across our nations. Let us together build an information environment where truth prevails over misinformation, where cooperation overcomes division, and where communication becomes a source of resilience rather than vulnerability. I once again thank the government of Azerbaijan, my brother Hikmat Hajiev, the Honorable President Ilham Haider Aliyev for hosting this forum, and commend the D8 Secretariat for its efforts to strengthen media cooperation among member states. We look forward to making a mechanism for generations to come. Even decades after this forum has been held, people will be able to refer to this forum as the starting point of something which led to the benefit of the people of the D8 nations and which contributed towards a peaceful, prosperous future for the peoples of our country. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure speaking to you this morning.
वफाकी वज़ीर इत्तलात अताउल्लाह तारड़ तकरीब से खिताब कर रहे थे। उन्होंने कहा कि प्रोपेगेंडा और गलत मालूमात दुनिया भर में गुमराह कुन बयानिया को जन्म दे रही हैं। अता तारड़ ने इस हवाले से कहा कि D8 ममालिक की मस्बत कहानियाँ दुनिया तक पहुँचाना हमारी मुश्तरका जिम्मेदारी है और डिजिटल इमिग्रेंट्स और डिजिटल बयानिया के दरमियान पुल बनाना वक्त की अहम ज़रूरत है।